Welcome children to the video lectures of Social Science Standard 9th. This is the second video lecture of chapter number 18. In the previous video lecture, we had seen about the wildlife. What is wildlife? Then zoo geological regions of India. There were 9 zoo geological regions in India. We also studied about the diversified wildlife of India. And we saw about wildlife and the need to conserve the wildlife. Okay, today we will see the important national park and sanctuaries of India. The first and the foremost national park is Kaziranga, which is situated in Assam. Okay, in which wildlife is protected. Okay, then rhino, wild buffalo and deer. These are the main. Okay, now understand the difference between national park and sanctuary. Now sanctuary is basically both are protected areas. Okay, both are made to protect the animals, but sanctuaries are made for protection of a specific species. Okay, while national park is a larger area formed for protection of a larger section of animals. So national park is a larger area in comparison to sanctuary. Sanctuary is basically dedicated to a single species, while national park is for more than one species, or it can include a ecological zone, a bioreserve zone into it. So here Kaziranga is a national park. In that, which sanctuaries are included? Then rhino, wildlife, wild buffalo and deer also are included. Next is Thar Desert of Rajasthan. What sanctuaries? Desert wolf, desert cat and bustard, Great Indian bustard. Then Kanha, that is in Madhya Pradesh. Tiger and antelopes are found there. Gir National Park, Gujarat. Then lions are the main pride of it. Leopards and chintal. Now leopards are found in very few numbers. Velavadar Kaliyar National Park, Gujarat. They are black bugs. Okay. Wolf and peacock. Kaladev, that is Bharatpur. Birds of migratory and local. Mainly this is one of the most important bird sanctuaries. Bandipur in Karnataka. Elephant, bear, hog, wildcat, etc. The Chiga in Kashmir. Then Hamur, that is Kashmiri deer and musk deer are found there. In Corbett National Park, okay, tigers, elephants, leopards and deer. Okay, this you might have seen Jungle Book, that is basically based on Corbett National Park, because the background which is taken is from Corbett National Park, right? Now in this particular map you can see the wildlife, bird sanctuary and national parks. Okay, in examination a map will also be asked, so you need to understand this map and see the places of the different national park, wildlife and sanctuaries. Now dangers to wildlife. What are the dangers to the wildlife that we are going to see here? A question mark have been put against the existence of entire wildlife due to the human greed. See, existence of entire wildlife due to the human greed and development in recent time. Due to human greed and development, there is a problem or a question mark on the existence. On examining the reason, it is understood that the wildlife have become unprotected as they have lost their natural habitat. See, they are unprotected as natural habitat is lost. Okay, a lot of forests have been cut down, a lot of trees have been cut down, and due to that, the natural habitat of that area have been destroyed. Due to the continuous decreasing forest hunting carried out to get skin. So why they are skin, meat, teeth, hair, bones? It is a big problem, and due to that, a lot of animals are being hunted. Due to heavy grazing, this is also one of the reasons. Due to heavy grazing of the domestic animals, also the wildlife is being affected. In forest, herbivores are deprived of food, which results in decrease in their numbers. See, herbivore animals like deer and other animals which eat plant and grass have this issue. It will deprive carnivores from getting food. As herbivores are deprived of their food, carnivores will be affected. There is a circle, we know. Okay, herbivores are there which eat the green grass. As green grass will be less, the number of herbivores will decrease. As herbivore will be decreased, the carnivores which eat herbivores will also have problem. And so you can see there is a connection due to it. Okay, now it is connected. It also deprives the carnivores for getting food. So this carnivore reaches human settlement. That's why you might find the carnivores into human settlement. A lot of lions you might see visiting the nearby areas of Kir. Okay. As they approach human settlements, situation of conflict arises between wild animals and human settlements. This conflict leads into destruction of wildlife. Okay, as they are into the human settlements and they are a danger to the human life. So many a times it happens that wildlife or wild animal is killed because it feels that he is dangerous to the human beings. So whenever the wild animals are in contact of human being, they are always having a bad time. Besides, their effect on pollution is also very adverse due to the human activities. Like to know, there is a sharp decrease in the number of domestic sparrows. You might not see domestic sparrows now. Why? Because the areas where they used to build the nest, okay, that were the creeps, usually into the floorings and the roofs of the house. But now such kind of houses are not found, and that's why they don't have places to build the nest, and that's why the number is getting decreased. Lion is the state animal of Gujarat. Lion is the state animal of Gujarat, and flamingo is the state bird of Gujarat. Remember this. Asiatic lion, gudkhar, and patli lizard is found only in Gujarat in India. Wild buffalo, it is Indian bison, elephant, cheetah, large Indian squirrel, tiger, etc. have become extinct in Gujarat. They are not found in Gujarat anymore. Desert sanctuaries of Kutch has the largest area among the sanctuaries in Gujarat. So it is the biggest sanctuary in Gujarat. Porbandar Bird Sanctuary is the smallest sanctuary in the Gujarat. So this is the good data for you. Due to decrease in the forest area, the number of wild animals occasionally come with the human habitat. This happens. Okay, as we already discussed, they come into human habitat. Human interference in area of wild animals result in clashes with them. In such incidences, wild animals become victim of human rage and lose their lives. In South and Southeastern India, elephants come in search of food, create havoc in the agriculture field. Incidences of injury of killing of men by leopards take place in Saurashtra and South Gujarat, and by wolf in the forest of Northeast Gujarat. Okay, so you might see whenever a wild animal and human being come into contact of each other, there are always chances that there will be a clash, and in this clash, most of the time, the wild animal is affected, and many a times it is even losing its life. A precaution is necessary to prevent such disaster. Okay, that's why it is very very important to prevent such disaster. Now, what are the remedies to conserve the wildlife? Okay, how you can conserve the wildlife? A long-term planning is necessary to conserve and decrease the forest. Okay, to increase the forest, the long-term planning is needed. We shall have to be more delicate to implement strong legal provisions. Okay, and strict implementation. There should be very very strong legal provisions. Anyone who is disturbing or damaging wildlife or the forest should be imposed with legal actions. Conservation of forest areas and wildlife. Various social NGOs. See, NGOs means non-governmental organization. Let me write for you. Non-government organizations are known as NGOs. Okay, should give this a top priority to arrange public awareness programs. This problem should be included in the school syllabus. It should be included into school syllabus so that children become aware about it, and they also understand the need to protect the wildlife. Before implementing any developmental project, its probable effect on environment and living organisms should be examined. This is a very important. Before implementing any development project, the probable effect on environment and living organisms should be examined. What effect that will be on the environment, at the same time living organisms should be examined and checked. Cutting of large tree outside forest area should be stopped. See, large trees should not be cut. Okay, because the hollow spaces within them are the branches are nesting places of the birds, and that's why a lot of birds are becoming homeless due to cutting down of trees. Ponds, farm ponds and wetlands which are necessary for migratory birds and for those which are habitated near any water body should be protected. See, migratory birds, for those habituated near water bodies, should be protected. Any active work is urgently needed to reduce pollution. Okay, anything that is damaging or the environment should be stopped. To manage the forest fire, very important, to manage the forest fire, an anticipatory planning should be made for patrolling and safety. Forest fire are one of the biggest reasons for killing or actually dying of the animals. Recently, just last year only, there was a very large forest fire into Australia, and due to that lots of animals were burned down. Okay, they died in those wildfires, and that had a very immense effect on the wildlife of the country. Okay, so that should be stopped. So we'll keep till here into this particular video lecture.